Punisher. Punisher. Punisher.
Punisher. Hi, friends.
Hi, guys.
We're back.
Hello.
Operating on 20% battery life.
I know. I'm at like 15. I ain't gonna lie. You know, when you hit the end of your shift and you realize, like, I'm not gonna make it home without my battery, or you work from home, but yeah, you're like, my battery gonna die before I get home. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. I big relate. So, guys, this is the South Side of Wakanda podcast, the best podcast in the multiverse.
Best podcast with the lowest energy.
I am Girl Hulk.
And I am, that's funny, I am Frank Castle's plot armor.
If this is your first time joining us, we are two black queens who discuss the MCU live action content and not the comic book source material. So if you enjoy this content without that, this is a spot for you. This week, we're going to be talking about The Punisher season 1, episodes 9, 10, and 11, as well as the finale of She-Hulk.
Y'all.
Usually right about now we do news. Not much happened this week. I probably could have found some stuff if I would have given this like more than 5 minutes. But alas, I did not. I did see one important thing though. Harrison Ford is going to replace William Hurt as General Ross in the Thunderbolts.
Aww.
Yes. I know if somebody might have forgotten, but William Hurt died earlier this year. I think, yeah. And so he was General Ross in
for a very long time.
Yeah, the Incredible Hulk.
Like he's been in the MCU. When you think about it, he's been in the MCU for
he's been in a couple
time.
movies. I feel like the Hulk, and then was it Endgame? He was in the most? I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Oh no, that was Infinity War.
Right.
I think he was also in Civil War. He was in Black Widow. He was in
Winter Soldier, was he?
No,
that was Nick Fury.
That was Robert Redford.
Right, okay. So yeah, he's been in a couple things, but he passed away before, his character really got going.
We shall never see his like again.
Yeah. R.I.P. to him. I'm excited about Harrison Ford, though.
Harrison Ford is here!
It's gonna be a good time. I
actually love Harrison Ford like so much. I honestly,
I feel like he gonna bring a lot of charisma. He could be
my white granddaddy.
Yes, like
I love
how
him.
like Tommy Lee is mine. Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones, not Tommy Lee.
Exactly. He's that's a very good distinction to make.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that was the news. Did you hear any whispers on the streets? I've been seeing that it's another Black Panther trailer that been dropped. I ain't watch it.
Yeah, I did see that. Somebody sent it to me. I'm like, nah, dude, I don't be watching the trailers. Like, I'm not watching that.
I love that, like, people in my life listen to our podcast now, so they'll say that. Like, I was on the phone with my cousin Erica. Hey, Erica.
Hey,
and her man came in, Thomas, who was like, did y'all see the new Black Panther? We was on FaceTime. It's like, did y'all see the new Black Panther trailer? What Brittany think? And she was like, Brittany don't watch trailers. And I was like, we sure don't.
We don't.
Look at you knowing stuff about us.
I honestly, like, I hope we're starting like a wave. I think we are, based off of just things that we've, our content on TikTok and things that other people have said. Not that we started that wave, but there are a lot of people that are in the camp of just, I'm going to wait until the movie come out and I'm going to just wait to be surprised.
We pushing the agenda, and you know what? The agenda needed to be pushed though, okay? Yeah. I had got really excited because I saw this screenshot and it was like, this is the cast of the MCU Daredevil Born Again show. It's fucking not. Like, it looked real legit too. Like, it looked like, oh wow. Yeah. But this is just like from some Marvel page. But I'm gonna just tell you who is on it, just so you can get fake excited with me.
Okay.
So of course, Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, Deborah Ann Wool as Karen Page. Then we got Eldon Henson as coming back as Foggy.
Hold on. Her name is Deborah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You just slandered her name. She rolled her eyes so hard. We not uploaded a video this week, so I'm gonna have to remember that y'all can't see us. That was funny.
Yeah, I know. That's just an old ass name for her. Like, she's like our age. No, she's probably a little older than us, but
yeah,
that's an old name.
I feel like her last name is old too. Wool. It just sounds like her family.
Old money.
Yeah, her money used to make the soldiers uniforms back in the fucking Civil War. Like that's,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce her name. The actress that plays Echo, Alaqua Cox. I don't know. I'm so sorry, girl. That was terrible. Jonathan Banks. I don't know who he is. As somebody named Ten Fingers. Baby. Elodie Young, our girl Electra. Then some guy named Wilson Bethel as Bullseye. I don't know who that person's supposed to be. Tatiana Mizlahi, our Jennifer Walters. Which, if Jennifer fucking Walters shows up in Daredevil Born Again, I know it's not gonna happen, but I would lose my shit.
That'd be cute.
And then
we gonna get into that.
Right. Then finally, John Bernthal as the Punisher. And I think when I saw the Punisher, that's how I knew that it was fake. I was like,
because he hasn't been confirmed.
They have not said nothing about that. I would shit the bed if this was real. But yeah, you gotta be careful where you getting your stuff from, your information, because
you have to make sure it's a reputable source.
Yeah, the night is dark and full of dangerously high expectations. So, now it's time for our discussion topic. Now,
all right, yeah. So I have a discussion. So we did a TikTok on this like a really long time ago, but we can talk about it on here. What Marvel character do you think is worthy?
Jon Snow.
Marvel character.
Kind of a Marvel character, kind of.
I know, right?
Okay. Who is worthy?
Well, you know what? Yeah, let's like expand it out.
Okay. Just characters in general? Okay. Because I was like, everybody that I thought of immediately was definitely not worthy.
Right.
I would think, okay, definitely Jon Snow. I'm going to say King Viserys. Definitely is worthy.
Girl, the throne don't even want him to sit on it.
Yeah, he just broke my heart that last episode. I just was like, he really was just like, can we just all get along? I have 2 teeth left. Please stop fighting.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So definitely him. Twyla from Schitt's Creek is definitely worthy. Let me think of somebody from another show. I would say, for my Supernatural fans, Castiel, he's literally an angel. But if you watch the show, you know some of them angels ain't shit on that show. So definitely him. I want to say Michael Scott. Just because he just seems so pure of heart, even though he's so crazy.
Pure. And you know what? Did you see that TikTok I tagged you in?
Probably. I can't remember right now, though.
It was a deleted scene of from The Office. And I can't remember what. I think they said that it was from the Willy Wonka episode or the Golden Ticket episode. And he was basically kind of going on this, like, he had this long speech or long monologue or whatever, when he was like, y'all always, like, saying, basically making it seem like I'm such a bad boss. But what if you get another boss in here that realizes that we don't need 3 accountants, or somebody that just wants y'all to do y'all job and go home and doesn't want y'all to be a family or be kind to y'all. It's just like a robot. And he's like, well, what if it's a person that come in here that don't like the fact that it's a couple that's working together and they make y'all transfer? or quit or something. And he's like, it could be a lot worse than me. And I was like, dang, they should have kept that in.
Yeah. Them moments of clarity, you'd be like, wait, he's not crazy. Oh,
no,
shit.
Exactly. He's been very lucid this whole time.
Right. Whoa. Yeah, definitely Michael Scott. I'm gonna say Beyonce. For sure. Definitely the queen. On the opposite end of that, Nicki Minaj. Just
she
baby.
I was
it's so fucking sad.
Like, I never hear about a song coming out or people like, oh my gosh, she performing, it was so good. Or she got such a good album. Every single time she being mentioned within the past like 3 to 5 years, it's always some shit.
It's always bullshit. Her and Kanye. It's always bullshit.
Yes. And it's really one of those Tyra Banks moments. Like, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
As a millennial, I feel personally attacked because why are people cutting up like this? Like, why?
I don't know, girl.
Please stop. Jeez. This is why I just choose Beyonce. She could be the shittiest person on this earth, but we'll never know about it.
But you'll never know.
Keep them lips fucking zipped, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my list off the top of my head.
Let me think. Definitely Jon Snow. Maester Aemon would be able to. He would be worthy if he could actually lift it, because he was so old. Within the MCU, though, I think that Sam would be worthy.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's one of the few.
Very few. Like, I think that he's such a pure character. Obviously, he's always trying to help his community, help people around him, help his family.
Yeah.
Like, he just seems like such a genuine person.
It's really wild when you think about it. Like, out of all of these Earth's mightiest heroes, we hard pressed to find somebody that's actually worthy of possessing the power of Thor.
It's not that many that are just like, I mean, obviously they're allegedly, most of them are human, some are humanoid.
Yeah.
You know, but they have their flaws. They all have their flaws. Even the ones that are worthy have their flaws. But whether or not they're actually worthy of carrying Mjolnir,
yeah,
that's a tall order. That's quite the tall order. I can't think of anybody who.
I think in that TikTok that we posted, I originally said Elmo. I want to redact that. I feel like Big Bird, because Elmo is sweet, but
Elmo an asshole.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick sometimes. So
he's like a red Caillou.
Yeah. And like, I be feeling him. Like that time when he was like snapping off on Zoe because she kept trying to give his cookie to a fucking Rock, talking about some Rocco need a cookie, and Elmo was like, "Bitch, Rocco can't eat." I felt that in my soul. I really did.
I'm trying now, for whatever reason I can't think of shows and movies that I've watched. Samwise Gamgee. I can't remember if we said him in that TikTok, because that was literally over a year ago. That was like a year and a half ago.
Even though she's a dirty mistress, I'm gonna say Meredith Grey. Just because she almost went to jail so a illegal immigrant child could use her health care insurance because she didn't have insurance, so she did fraud so that little baby wouldn't die. You can have the hammer.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to think of like a Pretty Little Liars character that could wield the hammer, and wouldn't none of them bitches pass the test.
Nobody off of Euphoria either.
No. Like half the characters on like literally 75% of the characters on Pretty Little Liars have murdered somebody. See. So none of the asses.
Aragorn though, right?
100%.
Because he did those murders in the name of justice. And Frodo Baggins.
Thor murdered people.
Right, yeah. So certain murders is okay with Mjolnir.
In that case, Frank Castle. No, I'm just joking.
I'd give him a hammer.
Right.
Or help him hold his.
Hey.
I didn't mean that, Prince.
Yes, you did. I can't really think of anybody else.
All right, well, let's get into...
Actually, you know what? I just realized that we have an email.
We do?
Yeah.
Yay.
And it is from none other than our number one fan.
Carl?
No, it's JC this time.
Ha! Hey.
What's up? All right. He said, hey, Brittany and Shani, day one fan of the pod, and I have a question to ask. Has there ever been a successful attempt at recreating the super soldier serum that has been publicized? By successful, I mean the next Steve Rogers. It was something I have recently wondered because the super soldier serum has been at the center of most origin stories in the MCU. Keep up the phenomenal work. Love you guys. Southside.
So as you started reading, I remember that Prince was telling me about this, and I was like, hey, he should have wrote that into the podcast. So I'm happy that he actually did.
Yeah. Because I did see this kind of, I think I was like scrolling through Facebook while I was at work, and I saw that, and I was like, and I saw the post, but I couldn't actually like partake because I was supposed to be doing other things.
That's what's up. We haven't had an email in a long time. I'm excited.
I know,
now.
And I just so happened to like look at my iPad, and I think my phone doesn't get our emails, but my iPad does. So,
okay.
Yay me.
Well, for those of us who are listening who don't know, he's right. The super soldier serum, or people trying to recreate it, is a lot of people's origin stories, or has affected a lot of people. I think. Lots
Captain
of casual.
America is like, all you bitches is my son.
Right. Facts. And is. So a lot of people probably don't know, but we talked about this when we watched The Incredible Hulk. The Hulk came from General Ross trying to create the super soldier serum again. Same thing with Bucky Barnes, of course. That's the obvious one. Prince told me Spider-Man. Like, they were trying to recreate that, fucking with spiders, and he ended up getting bit. I'm totally blanking. But it's definitely, like, a lot of super-powered people ended up trying to get it. Oh, yeah, the Red Skull, too.
Yeah.
So, when we were talking, we were like, what is the barometer for success, though? Because success can mean a lot of different things.
Well, I mean, as far as like Steve Rogers goes, it's not murdering people and going batshit crazy like John Walker.
Well, he murdered people too, but he did good murders.
Well, he was a soldier. I think it's a difference. It's not really a difference. Like spiritually and morally is not a difference, but like legally it's a difference.
Because I was thinking, like, if you're talking about just, like, as far as how they look, because this is the thing I was getting caught up on. So, like, even Emil Blonsky, John Walker, Bucky Barnes, like, all of them got some kind of a super soldier serum, and they remained humanoid. But when you look at the Hulk and Red Skull, and maybe even Spider-Man, it genetically mutated them and turned them into freaks.
Yeah.
Whether their powers are good or not, because some people will look at the Hulk and be like, that is the goal. Because look at him.
He is a
he's
literal
huge.
weapon.
Right, he's a weapon. I think that's how General Ross was looking at him, like, oh, this is a success because look what I made. I need to make some more of it. But other people, like normal people like us, will be like, that's a failure because that man cannot live a normal life anymore.
Exactly. So
And
I think that
crazy.
to me is the barometer for whether or not it's successful, because if I can't even, like, you can't have sex, you can't like get mad at somebody that cut you off in traffic, like literally, if you know, like, at least Steve is who he is. It has kind of become a part of him. It's like symbiotic. It's not two separate things. So I wouldn't want to be a Hulk and I have to, you know, I get mad and I change into something and I'm like
Wolverine
shit.
Too. I forgot about him.
Exactly.
And Isaiah Bradley. I forgot about him too. Okay.
I remembered Isaiah Bradley. I was just waiting to bring him up. I mean, I guess you could say that he's a success story, but because he's black, they kind of swept it under the rug.
Yeah. I would definitely say he is a success.
Because he ain't green.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I mean, well, Wolverine, I feel like his super soldierness worked. Kind of. I don't know. Like I think that was what the Weapon X program. I cannot remember. I should have did a little bit more research, but
had the power prior.
He had the bone claws, and I think he might have had regeneration. But like the adamantium skull, I don't know. But I remember Prince was saying something like the Weapon X program, from where he got his adamantium, they were also doing super soldier bullshit, and that was like part of it. I can't remember though.
I just remember, like, at the very beginning of the Wolverine movie, they were like, they had already been alive since like the 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
So he was already basically like impenetrable and regenerating and stuff.
Fun fact, I recently started rewatching that movie just because I was bored. It's so fucking bad. But it was interesting seeing Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman on the screen as those characters, since we're going to get that again.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was cool.
I forgot that he was even in that movie. I think
That's his first time being Deadpool. But he did not look like Deadpool at all.
Oh, yeah. I had only seen that movie like one time. Because you remember when that movie came out, it was like they had released it, but like they released it without all the special effects and stuff. And I had like saw like 5 minutes of it with the no special effects, and I was like, this is garbage, obviously. And then once the movie came out, it was like I couldn't really suspend my like disbelief and everything and be actually in the world. Yeah.
But yeah, so.
But I think that if Bucky Barnes hadn't fallen from the mountain and lost an arm and been basically like trained by Hydra, not trained by Hydra, but brainwashed by Hydra, I think he would have been a success.
Yeah.
I think his story would have been completely different had he been in America the whole time.
I think they all successes.
Except for Red Skull.
Except for Red Skull and the Hulk. Because they do, even though they batshit crazy and they evil murder bots, they do what they can fight Steve Rogers. They can run the ones with the nigga. Yeah. Like, if your goal was to recreate that, you did it. But they took away that whole like morality, personality thing that Dr. Erskine was like really trying hard to do.
Exactly.
And that's, why they ended up like that. But I don't know.
Carly was also a successful. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Well.
Wonderful. Right, Thank you so much for writing in. If you guys ever want to write in, do that. I forgot what our email is. Oh, it's southsideofwakanda@gmail.com.
Oh, this is such an interesting episode today. All right, let's talk about these 3 episodes of The Punisher. So these 3 episodes, a lot of shit happened. A lot of shit went down. Basically, everything kind of came to a head, and all of the plot lines kind of converged. So, Lewis, old crazy ass, done turned it to the Unabomber out of fucking nowhere. Like, nigga, what?
I don't understand how. Okay, he was having that conversation with his dad, and his dad was basically like, okay, like, you served the country, you fought for the country, now fight for yourself. I don't understand where in that conversation he was like,
me either.
I'm gonna start
I really
blowing
thought
shit up.
That he was gonna blow up that guy's apartment and just blow up the dead body so that it would be harder for them to figure out who did it, and that would be it, and that he might have killed like Curtis or somebody who got in his way. But I didn't think that he was gonna turn into a domestic terrorist, like who suddenly is like writing manifestos and shit. Like, are you kidding me? That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
came out of fucking nowhere. I like when we first saw him, I thought he was about to just start mass shooting people. I didn't think he was gonna start blowing people up. And then you know what's so crazy is that somebody had the argument like the people that you're harming, it's not the people that's making the decisions. And that's the craziest part. It's like when people do this type of like domestic terrorism, it's like they want to make a statement. They want the people that's, you know, creating laws and stuff to be affected, but you're not affecting those people. You're affecting the people that's just like you, that's just trying to make a dollar. You know what I mean? Like they're just trying to make a living for their family, and now they worry that they about to get blown up. Like these people was celebrating a birthday.
I think Frank was the one who told him that, like, you're not doing shit with like all this bombing and blowing up shit. Like you're not. This is nothing. They don't care. They gonna kill you and go back to doing what the fuck they've been doing.
Exactly. And if anything, they just gonna use what you're doing as, just like that one senator, they're gonna use what you're doing as a reason why they need more gun
to
laws
push,
and all, even though
right, to push their
guns.
own agenda.
Exactly. So it's just like you're not helping the situation. Like, I mean, there is no help in the situation. Everything's fucked. You need to just live your life the best that you can and find some happiness where you can find it. But you blowing up the fucking world, like Karen said, janitors and secretaries. Right. You're not making any headway. If anything, you're gonna go down in the annals of history as somebody that was a fucking terrorist. Yeah. If people remember who the fuck you are.
Right. I was going to say that. Like, you're not even really making an impact for anybody. Nobody making documentaries about you blowing up office buildings. Like, girl, go somewhere. Like,
exactly. Be productive. Get better hobbies, in the words of Baby Syrian.
So, because he done turned into a terrorist, now he done decided to loop Karen into the fucking mix. So, he sent her a damn... psycho ass, Zodiac killer ass message to the newspaper. And so because she can't sit the fuck down, she decided to go on the radio, which I was surprised that it was not Trish Talk. I really thought
it was gonna be Trish Talk. I was so disappointed when it was that random ass nigga.
Right, that's so disappointing because that would have tied in from the Defenders. Like, oh, we met, this my bitch, I'm finna go on her radio show.
Exactly. We about to Scooby-Doo some shit
exactly.
Together.
So
the blonde bombshells
putting their heads together, figuring shit out.
Right.
So she decides to go onto the radio, and on the radio they also have a senator who, like Shani said, wants more gun laws, even though everybody's just like, what the fuck do this got to do with guns? Why are you here? Why are you here?
Exactly. He doesn't even go
right.
here.
So when she get on the radio, she decides to, you know, talk tough shit about the bomber. Of course, Frank is listening like, girl, you finna make me have to kill some more fucking people.
Exactly. He's like, God damn it.
Come on. And then when she saw him about it, he was like, he called her like, hey, where the fuck you at? All right, stay there. You already know what time it is, bitch. Like, you know Frank don't play about you.
Exactly.
Come on. Then go try to act all surprised. What? Don't get involved. Really? If somebody try to blow you the fuck up and you think Frank not gonna get involved?
Exactly. You got your own personal Captain Save-A.
Exactly.
Like
that's exactly what his ass be doing too. Oh God. So now we got them all these people are involved, and the Karen and the senator are gonna have like a little sit down talk before his fundraiser to raise money for the victims of the families who were involved in Lewis's fucking bombs. And so,
and people keep calling it a campaign. He's like, I'm not campaigning. It's for the victims. And it's like, we see right through your bullshit.
Exactly. So, sorry, I just checked my husband's location and he just pulled up in front of my house. Woo! Okay, so they're all converging in this one location. The senator has hired Billy Russo's jackbooted thugs to be his security. And ironically. Right, so they all in one spot. Of course, you know, bullshit happens. What Beyonce say? You put all this money on the elevator, of course it's gonna go. That's what the fuck happened, okay?
Exactly.
So Lewis blew up some shit. A lot of people got killed. And then the big reveal happened. Frank finally sees what the fuck Micro and everybody else was saying that you should not be trusting Billy fucking Russo.
I think Micro was saying the opposite.
He was? Hold on.
Wasn't he the one when Billy was like trying to find him? Wasn't Micro like, you should trust him?
No.
Like he's going.
He didn't want him to trust no fucking body. He barely wanted Curtis to know. He was telling Frank not to, but I think Curtis was the one that was like, you know, this your friend.
Maybe that's what it
Yeah.
was.
Micro was like, absolutely not. Don't do it.
Because Frank wasn't going to.
Right. Well, the shit, Frank was taking his time, but you know what? Him and Micro, like, they argue like a married couple. Usually they be on the opposite sides of shit and they be just bickering about it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So he was right, and now Frank is pissed off and he's basically got tunnel vision. He just want to fucking kill Billy. He want to make sure Micro and them okay.
I'm gonna kill Billy.
Yes. 5-point palm exploding heart technique, bitch. It's coming.
Exactly.
It's coming.
And I can't fucking wait for him to ruin that pretty little face.
Man, slick ass
that
Billy.
Smug ass face.
So they figured out that Pete Castelli, whatever the fuck he told them his last name was. Castiglione. It's actually Frank Castle.
Which means castle.
Yeah, I figured that.
I was
It's like, I'm still gonna be Italian though.
He's like, my last name's still Castle though.
Yes. So I think they found out that he was Pete because the little boy called the tip line, right? That's what happened?
No, it was on the news.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the cops. No, because they found where Micro and them was at because they was tracing the phone that Sarah was using to call Pete.
Right.
And I thought they figured that part out because their little bitch ass son was a snitch.
That is what I gathered.
Okay.
That's what, yeah.
So
that's what they kind of imply.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the story we're going with. And I was just like, when he got to when all the niggas showed up in the basement and Frank had that shit booby trapped like it was Murder Home Alone.
Oh my God.
He was fucking...
I couldn't watch some of those parts. I was just like, yo, he went crazy.
He went nuts. And he was walking through that bitch calling Billy like fucking Baba Yaga, I'm finna come get you. And I was talking to the TV. I was like, Frank, slick ass Billy ain't there. You know slick ass Billy wasn't gonna come there.
Exactly.
He's scared. Billy's scared.
He really is. Honestly, it was a conversation that Billy was having with Rollins. Mm-hmm. And you can tell that he's basically like, I'm fucked. Like,
yeah.
He was kind of like, we're both fucked because he's like, Madani knows your name, which, you know, nobody else knows. He's like, Madani knows your name. Frank knows I'm involved. Mm-hmm. I'm not leaving this place because once I leave, he basically got a target on my head.
Exactly.
And he knows it, and he knows what happened to the people that fuck with him.
Mm-hmm. And
there is a 100% chance that you're gonna fucking die.
Yeah, he gonna find you.
he is going to find you, and that's the nuttiest part about it. Is like he tracked down all of them people.
He's supposed to have been dead 3 times by now, right? Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Just put your head in the sand.
He should have took his own advice and just got the fuck out of Dodge.
But the thing is, he still probably would have tried to find him.
He probably would have, but how he gonna get on an airplane?
That's true. He gonna figure it out.
He would at least have to work a little bit harder
to find you in another country. 100% true.
Yeah.
And then the fact that like Madani, she is kind of piecing together the fact that Russo was actually there because she gets information about who all was like the dead people, the dead Anvil guys that was working with Billy. She realizes, they all used to work for Anvil. One or two, that's a coincidence. But 4, as Sherlock Holmes said, the universe is rarely so lazy. So she's putting it together. She's like basically seeing through the fact that Billy he's smooth as fucking shit.
I was happy for her to finally be seeing shit. Like, she came out of like the whole Dick Dizzy days and started to see the light of the day. But then I was still disappointed at her when she called him in to do that little
I didn't
thing.
understand what the point of that was, because it's like, girl, you got more to lose and compromise with this investigation.
He embarrassed her.
Yeah,
and even her, even Rafi said that when she's showing him the tape, he was like, "Why are you showing me him just eat you up like this?" Like,
exactly. And then the fact that he mentioned, like, when she started recording, and I'm like, this mug bitch is gonna be like, yeah, we was fucking. Remember that too,
girl. I would have flushed that tape down the fucking toilet.
Exactly.
Nobody would have saw it.
I would not have even recorded anything.
No.
There would not be any type of evidence. Nobody would have, like, no one would have known that he was up in there eating me alive like that.
No. In that meeting and in her apartment. Like, no.
I know that I wasn't gonna go there. But yeah,
our listeners know us by now.
Right. And then like when he shot Frank, I was like, oh Lord, no.
Oh, one more thing I want to say about that the fake ass interrogation. What was recorded, embarrassing. But the fact that she told him that Frank looking for your ass and he visibly started, yeah, you not talking that shit now, is you?
Exactly. But one thing that really was just like, wow, like, this must have fucking hurt her when she realized that he was the one that killed Stein, that killed her partner this whole time, after he was comforting her and checking in on
bathing
her, all of this stuff. That same,
and he brought
day.
That shit up too.
And then she said, you killed Stein. This nigga gonna smirk. He smirked. I was like,
oh man,
he gonna get everything that's coming to him.
I can't wait. But yeah, that had to hurt her stomach had to be hurting after that shit.
No, definitely. Hell hath no fury.
Yeah,
I wanted to talk about Curtis.
Okay, yes.
Because if they would have killed my man Curtis, I would have.
I was so fucking tense. Oh, when he was fighting that little nigga and he kicked his leg out from under him. I was like, oh, you a bitch.
Yeah, that was such a cheap fucking shot. I was I really thought that he was dead. I was like, no, not Curtis.
Yes, when he was beating him and then you could hear that little squishy noise. I was like, not his skull.
No,
please.
exactly. I thought, but you know,
and then
black man
he
got
was
some
so
thick
demoralized. Thick and hard ass heads. Yes, the fuck they do.
Right.
No, but he was so demoralized. He was telling Frank, like, he beat me with my own leg. I was like, damn, babe. He did.
And Frank was right.
He was like, if I was younger, he was like, I would have had him. Frank was like, I know.
Exactly.
I
and I love, there's two relationships that I really fucking love in this show. One of them is Kurt and Frank, and the other one is Karen and Frank. But I just really love their relationship. And then when he was telling the story about how Kurt lost his leg, and he was basically saying that, like, it was his job to protect him, and he felt so responsible because he couldn't kill a pregnant woman, and she blew up a building, and his friend ended up losing his leg and all of this stuff. And he was ready to die with Kurt that day. He was
like, it's me and you. That's a writer.
No, for real. He was just like, it's just basically you and me. If we die, we die.
But shit, if you think about it, Kurt really, outside of Karen, but he barely have Karen. Kurt really the only one who he have left, who really knows who he is, where he been through, like, who can relate to him and who's not constantly looking at him like he a fucking murderer. Like we said last week, how Micro, like, we've been living together in this basement for 3 weeks, like, smelling each other's farts, and you still think that I was just gonna kill your wife and your kids? Damn.
Exactly. And that's the crazy thing, too, when it's just like, you know, you have all these, like, FBI profilers and, you know, like, psychologists and stuff that be working with the police department. And it's just so crazy to me that they would lump him in as a terrorist. I think that that's just lazy investigative work.
It definitely is. And Karen, I was so happy that she called attention to that. So after the whole bullshit that happened at that hotel, and she's in there talking to Brett, right? His name. She's talking to
I
our
was like,
homie Brett.
Is that fucking Brett?
Look at him. Look. Brett and Turk.
Exactly. They gonna show the fuck up.
Stay working. Yes, they gonna stay working. But when she was telling him, she was just like, you and I both worked on the Castle case the first time around. You know this is not his MO. You know that he do not just be coming in here using bombs and shit. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Exactly. And he's not gonna...
She the only one that's using her brain.
Right. And then, like, he's not gonna kill innocent civilians. Literally every single person that died, regardless of if they knew, you know, in Daredevil, I can't remember if they knew that it was people in connection to his family's death, because I don't think that was like common knowledge at a certain point. But the fact that everybody that he killed was gang affiliated or mob affiliated, does that not tell you something about the person that you're working, you know, you're talking about?
Yes. It was nothing random about it. It was a direct. Everybody who died for a specific reason.
Exactly.
And it's because they did something or was involved in some bad shit. Even the little henchmen, like the one of them like little girls, so he had to kill him. I'm just like, y'all not gonna turn me away from him. But I will say, the whole show, I'll be like, yes, Frank, kill him, Frank. You're gonna go kill Billy Russo, aren't you? Yes, the fuck he is. Leave Frank alone. But when he tied a fucking grenade and threw a severed head, I was like, wait.
Frank,
hold on.
Frank, you wild for that. That was mad. That was crazy. What the fuck were you thinking, Frank?
I really be in love with him, and then the show reminds me, like, wait,
exactly. This is not somebody.
Maybe not this one.
Somebody to be idolized. I was just like, oh yeah, I put that I was like, he wild for that. I'm like, so you really had to cut somebody's head off and put a bomb in it?
I said, not a severed head, Frank. Fuck.
No, seriously.
That's like, what I wrote down.
You know how crazy you gotta be. It's one thing to kill somebody, but it's a completely
with a knife.
It's a completely different thing to like sever somebody's head like that.
He not even using a fucking sword or an axe, because swords and shit is heavy. You using a regular fucking knife. Oh my God.
You are determined.
Unhinged. Like, not just not okay.
100% something wrong with him. Like, he is crazy, but not in the way that people are making him out to be. Like, he's not crazy in the way that he, you know, is just about to just be murdering random people. He murders with a reason. And the fact that Karen Page is even still alive shows that.
Karen, this bitch got at least 15 lives.
No, I was thinking about that. I was like, the first time we see Karen was in episode 1 of Daredevil, the pilot episode of Daredevil. We see her, and her ass is on trial for murder, or being charged with murder. And then, you know, she was fucking involved with Wilson Fisk and all that stuff. Excuse me.
She got kidnapped at least twice. Like, yeah, 2 or 3 times. Maybe she got kidnapped.
And a couple of the times was by the hand.
Yeah.
Like, she is a survivor.
Then this one, she almost got blew the fuck up. She got taken as a hostage. Then almost got blew up again at the very end. Had to fake her way. Like, oh my God, Karen, just...
I know.
Karen, you might need to move to, like, Ohio, like Nebraska. Somewhere where ain't shit going on.
She need a nice retirement plan and just to soak her feet in the sand and get massages on the beach or something, because she just done did too much in her short life. And this is what I feel like all of this has happened in only like 2 years.
Oh yeah,
very short amount of time.
I hope she's talking to somebody, because
I'm like, girl, it's one thing, good thing you carrying that gun, but you also need to talk to a professional.
Yeah, Karen, she stay strapped now. She where my shit at?
Exactly.
Like.
And then like the freaking senator was talking about like, was basically trying to endorse like, you know, gun control, like we said. And I don't know, it was basically like he was just trying to kind of make sure that Karen was on his side. And I'm like, bro, you barking up the wrong tree. Like,
right.
Baby girl strapped.
She said, I would have my gun in my purse right now if your ass wasn't here.
She said,
like,
I keep that motherfucking thing on me.
Definitely do. And I love how, like, she kind of keeps a clear head when the shit is going down. Like, stuff was going on and she immediately reached for her gun even though she didn't have it. But I'm just like, she's still thinking like, how the fuck am I getting out of here? She not just crying behind the couch like, oh my God.
Somebody else dropped their gun because obviously they got killed, and she was like, all right, that's my gun now.
Yeah, she a survivor. I like it. She's
I like
giving
that,
me Claire energy right now.
I know. I like that fight in her.
Yeah,
I feel like she's had over the course of several shows. She's had a lot of development. She isn't just that little damsel in distress anymore. She's definitely gonna fight. You know, she's not gonna just go down like willingly, basically.
Yeah. I just wish that she would have just a little bit more fight in the elevator afterwards with Frank. I don't know how she ain't kissed him.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I like really
but it's just
wanted
like,
it.
It's so terribly romantic, but it's just like,
it's like
he is here because of you.
Yeah.
He risked his life real bad to come and make sure that you was okay. He cares about her so fucking much, and I think he's very attracted to her also, but he's just so fucked up.
I think it's a combination of him being fucked up and the fact that, you remember that conversation that he was having with Micro. He has not been with anybody since his wife. He has not, you know, he's only loved his wife ever since it was, you know, they started dating. It's only been her. You know, some dudes be fucking around when they overseas and stuff like that. He said, not fucking me. I love my wife, you know. So I think that he's like obviously still grieving her. And I think if he was able to allow himself to really think deeply on it, I think he would feel like he was like betraying her memory if he was to like start dating somebody else or something like that. But I'm Team Farron.
Oh yeah, I would. If it was me in that elevator.
Oh yeah.
Frank would have got fucked in the elevator. But let's move on. So I wanted to bring up one more thing about Lewis and just the fact that the show is just talking about gun laws and stuff with so much finesse, considering the subject matter is about pretty much a fucking gun aficionado. Like he if he wasn't called the Punisher, he'd be called Gunman.
Exactly,
because that's
gunman.
And I love that they included that scene with him talking on the phone to Lewis, because Lewis was, you know, all up in the far right. Like, he loved that shit. He was eating that shit up. And he was like, me and you got everything in common. Like, he's looking at Frank like, this is my idol. This is also like a vet. And he was done wrong. And he, you know, did what he needs to do. So I'm doing it too.
It's completely different.
And Frank was like, girl, if you don't get the fuck out of here with that shit, I don't like you.
But the thing is, it's just like, Lewis actually like has a support system. He has people that care about him within his family and without. He got his dad and Kurt. He had the, you know, the support group and everything like that. But he felt like that somebody owed him something. He felt like, I served the country, so now y'all owe me everything. You know what I mean? Like, when he could have taken control over his life and turned it into something. I mean,
or just not fucking join the army, because it's an option, y'all. Like, I mean, it's not right. It's not right how they treat vets. I don't agree with it at all. But at this point, we know this.
Yeah.
It's been like this since at least fucking Vietnam. You've seen the Vietnam vets. You see, they still fucked up. They have not changed that much. People are still on TikTok right now talking about they got out the army and they living in their car. So,
but then it's just like, you can't really compare yourself to Frank when he literally lost his family. Like, he served his country, and the people that he served with and was under killed his family. Like, you cannot compare your situation to his at all. Like, sorry, bro. Like, you saying, oh, we're the same, we served and we came back, and no, it's a completely different thing. You have a
It's
political agenda that you don't even know that you want. Like, you don't even know what you want, bro.
He don't know what he want. He just doing some shit, and none of it makes sense. And that's probably why it didn't make sense to us, because he's just randomly doing shit. He don't know what the fuck is going on.
He went crazy.
And I love that Frank told him, like, one day soon your daddy is gonna turn on the fucking news and be embarrassed. Like, you finna ruin your daddy fucking life right now. And I'm glad that somebody told his ass that, because it's fucking true.
I honestly feel so bad. Like, this whole time I was feeling so bad for his father.
Have you ever seen We Need to Talk About Kevin? So it's a movie. I'm finna spoil this for anybody who has not seen but wants to see We Need to Talk About Kevin. It's an old movie starring Ezra Miller's crazy ass and Tilda Swinton is his mother. I think John C. Reilly was his dad. Can't remember. Anyway, so basically the child was Kevin, Ezra Miller's character, fucking crazy, and nobody could see it except for the mom. He was a sociopath. Basically, he was doing the whole torturing animals thing, just torturing his mom, making it seem like his mom was crazy, and then like love bombing his dad. Crazy. The end of the movie, the end of the movie, or the plot of the movie, is basically that he ends up shooting up his high school.
Wow.
Killing kids. He ends up going to jail. He killed his sister and he killed his dad. So his mom is the only one left. And it's pretty much about her trying to live her life. And she's poor, so she can't, like, leave where she lives. And, like, all the time people are, like, painting, like, murderer and, like, crazy shit on her garage doors, on her house. Everywhere she goes, she's bullied.
Wow.
Everybody knows who she is. Like, it's a really terrible thing. And so as Frank was talking about that, I was like, that's literally what's going to happen to Lewis's dad.
Yeah.
And that's sad, because he didn't ask for that.
He didn't. And if anything, he really tried to, like, get his son help and be there and be supportive. Like, you know, in a lot of these situations, like, I really think that, like, you'll see the parents, like, in these types of shows and movies, like, you'll see the parents and they're, like, inattentive, or they really don't care. Or they're too kind of, like, wrapped up in their own life to give a shit about their kid. But he's like, he was there for him. And it's really sad. You know, it's not, no one's going to see that side of the story. They're just going to be like, well, you raised a murderer and a terrorist. Yeah. And that's really fucking sad. Good thing he got a fucking, a well-known last name, or a popular last name, so that if he did choose to move, it's not like his last name was like Bernthal or fucking, I don't know, Bundy.
Right. Exactly. Anything else that we missed about the Punisher?
Only thing I have left to say is that Rollins plans on throwing Billy under the bus.
Oh yeah, it was quick too. Soon as fake ass Jackie O was like, I don't like it, and he was like, well, here go our scapegoat right there.
Exactly. So
take him,
Billy. You either gonna die, or you gonna go to jail.
Oh baby, it's on for Billy. It's I know
on. We have the penultimate and the finale left. He ain't lasting out of that.
Hell no. So, She-Hulk. The finale.
The finale.
I don't know if nobody else
sleepy.
felt like it. Girl, delusional. Just really struggling right now. Just, woo. Yeah. It's okay. Yep. We almost done.
We gonna make it.
So, this last episode, it made me so happy. For so many different fucking reasons. I was like screaming in my room. I did not expect her to break the fourth wall quite like this. And I'm mad that the episode that we had recorded when we were talking about Deadpool did not get uploaded. Because I mentioned like the Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, and where he did the same thing. Like he just jumped out of the comic book page and went and talked to the writers, but he killed the writers. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is so fucking great. That is so cool to actually see in live action. And I just like, I'm probably getting ahead of myself. So all of this has culminated into Jennifer Walters' whole fucking life being destroyed after the events of the last episode. So because she's a Hulk and she smashed a TV screen. They put the bitch in jail.
Which, putting her in the same jail as Abomination.
What are they charging her with?
Yeah. If the Sokovia Accords don't exist anymore, then what? Like, she didn't destroy a city.
Right. She destroyed some private property. So I just, like, a fine. Like, why is she in jail?
Yeah. That part I didn't really understand. Like, that doesn't really make any sense to me. To basically lump her in with Abomination.
Right.
Doesn't really make any sense.
It made no sense. And then, like, they were able to
subdue
her.
His reasoning, he wanted power. He wanted the super soldier serum, and he wanted power, and he wanted to defeat the Hulk. All of this stuff. Like, somebody literally played her sex tape in front of her colleagues and her fucking parents. Yes. That is so completely different.
It is. It's just like, wow. Like, I'm guessing that the show is making a commentary on, like, disparities in how women are treated, and it makes sense, and it's terrible that it's realistic, but it was just like, wow, that was so absurd to me.
It was a little much.
Yeah. So because she went to jail, she ended up losing her job. She could not afford her apartment because we already know, like, the bitch, she was barely getting a job in the first place. So she couldn't keep her apartment anymore. They forbade her from transforming back into the She-Hulk, and she ended up having to move in with her parents, which was very fucking demoralizing because when she said something, her mom was like, well, I work out in your room now every morning at 7 a.m. She's like, oh my God.
Yeah. I feel like moving back into your parents' house as an adult would just be...
It'll break your spirit. It's going to break your soul. So she is trying to put her life back together and ends up, like, going on, like, a little retreat because, remember, Emil Blonsky told her, like, anytime you want to come by, you can come by. And she was like, right fucking now seems like a good time. She gets there.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Nikki and Pug have been investigating intelligentsia. They the only ones that's actually trying to help her figure out, like, what's going on.
Right.
And they figure out that it's here, and the dude Todd is the ringleader. Shango was right, and they all come in at the same time.
I just love, like, Pug trying to be... Sorry, Cersei playing with something in the background. She has a burst of energy all of a sudden. She's been chilling, and now she has a burst of energy. But Pug trying to be sexist, knowing that he is not that person, and he's, all sweet and everything like that. It was just so funny to me. Nikki's like, call, don't forget to call women female.
Yes.
Like, all of this stuff. He's just like, females, am I right? Basically.
He looked like it was hurting him to say that stuff.
Yes, exactly.
I love Pug. I hope him and Nikki end up, like, getting together or something. Like,
they're really cute.
They are so cute.
Or at least being, like, besties.
Yeah. That's so cute. And it's so funny. He was like, he just came in with an AirPod. Like, that was his intel. And he was just like, isn't it going to be weird that I'm in here with an earbud? She was like, no, you're not going to be the only one. And nobody noticed. Like, it's so funny.
Nobody called it out.
I love this, like, little details. It's like the show is really not taking itself seriously. And I think, like, every week, I just enjoy that aspect a little bit more because people want them to take this show seriously so fucking bad. And they just, like...
And every week is like, but
no,
we're not.
Like, what is the most low-budget thing we could do? What is the most realistic but funny thing? We will pull up on the grass in a Fiat, and you just gonna go in with one AirPod. I'm gonna have the other one, and this is our intel.
Right.
It's so...
I love that she's a Fiat queen, like me.
Yes, little cute Fiat, and it fits her personality so well. Nikki and Pug were probably, especially Nikki, like, the funniest parts of the episode. Like, they had me cracking up literally the whole time.
I agree.
So the fourth wall break was so meta that it was like meta on top of meta, and I loved when it happened because at this point, like, at the climax, the quote unquote climax of the episode was when I was just like, oh, like, I started to kind of get disappointed. Like, when Titania busts through the wall,
I was so confused.
I was like, this is random, but oh, she's here to help, girl power. And then when the Hulk came in, I was like, Bruce. But then I was like, why is he here?
But I was like, how did he get there? It was confusing to me because I was like, how did he get there? Not that I so much cared about Todd being a Hulk. That was just like super confusing to me too, because I'm just like, so now, like everybody's a Hulk.
Right, anybody can be a Hulk now. Like, what?
Yeah, that was kind of strange to me. I was like, at first I was like, wait, so is Abomination bad? But I was like, he just trying to get his coins. He actually tried to save her.
Yeah, but then Bruce came in, didn't ask no questions, just squared up immediately with Abomination.
Period. As he should.
As he fucking should. But it was just so much happening all at once. And when she was just like, hold on. And I was just like, yes, bitch, please. What's happening? All of this shit is so fucking random. And then when the damn Disney Plus screen popped up on the screen, I was like, wow. Like, at that point, I was just shock and awe. I was sitting there with my mouth hanging open like, wow, they really doing this. It was great. Ugh.
I don't think my reactions were as strong as yours. I was just like, okay.
I was just like, wow, they really going here. Then they was something, I'm going to talk to Kevin. And I was like, bitch, if I see a blazer and a hat, I'm going to cackle.
No, I was like, ain't no way ain't no way that they're going to have Kevin Feige on this show. Mm-mm. And then I realized that they were spelling it as if it was like, you know, it was an acronym or whatever. And I was just like, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Like, when that was the part that I was like, wow, like, they're about to talk to Kevin. We're going to talk to Kevin. Kevin is the almighty. He knows everything. You don't question Kevin. I was like, that was really funny to me, where it was just like, I would kill for Kevin.
Right. I was like, that's basically us. Like, yes, I'm calling the police. The She-Hulk is trying to go touch Kevin. You better leave Kevin alone. Exactly. Let him do his job.
Let him do his job.
Right. And so it ends up being just an AI with a hat on.
A cap.
I was like, y'all asses. Y'all had a good time writing this shit, didn't y'all?
Mm-hmm. They definitely have fun with this show.
Then she just gonna cop a squat and start asking questions. And the robot like, oh, you're sitting down. You're getting comfortable?
Exactly. Let me just say that my boyfriend had to point something out to me because I was too busy taking notes and stuff. Mm-hmm. When Kevin is basically like, oh, you have to transform into Jennifer because we don't have the budget for it. He's like, our special effects team have already moved on to another project. And then it was like the Black Panther sound in the background. I was too busy fucking typing away, but I have to give Marcel the credit for pointing that out because I had to rewind it.
It was so much happening in this. I think that's why I was screaming, because it was just so much. Like, it was the Kevin Feige in the hat, and then it's her asking about the fucking X-Men and winking at the camera, and then I did hear the Black Panther, and then he's talking about some about the Hulk's movie, and I was like, wait, go back.
Exactly.
Like, it was so many things being thrown at me. And then the jokes. Yeah. I was so overwhelmed, but my cup runneth if it's over. It ran.
And it's just over. Like, you just know that Kevin Feige and the writers and everything are always on Reddit or on TikTok or something like that, because, you know, she's talking about how all of the movies kind of end the same. They have the same plot formula and all of this stuff, and she's like, you don't have to do that. And so I thought that was pretty cool, and I like that.
And it was definitely going in that direction too, with Todd getting the powers. So I'm just like, okay, so Todd and Huff in the fight, and then the Hulk.
But how would he like, my whole thing was, how would he fit into the MCU as a whole? Because once he's a Hulk, you can't kill a Hulk.
Exactly. So I'm happy that.
So I was just like, I'm not trying to deal with him.
No, because he was annoying enough for this show. This needs to be it. I don't need to see him no more.
Exactly. So I thought that was pretty cool.
It was a smart thing to do that, because I feel like that's what a lot of like the dude bros would have wanted the last episode to be, and they probably would have been like, oh, this is the greatest show ever. But then we would have been on this podcast like, so this is Iron Man. This is the same thing. I also
didn't like the fact that, like, this is her show, but she needed her male cousin to come and save her.
Right.
Like, I would have just been like,
no.
How come she couldn't just fight her own battle, basically?
And she's been doing it this whole time without
her
him.
Inhibitor on, but
right. She been doing it this whole time without him. Like, all of her problems, she's been really solving it through the legal system. Like, very boots on the ground. Which sometimes I just be, like, when she woke up in that jail cell, I'd be like, damn, Jennifer, I would have fought their ass. Like, I would have been on the run. But that's not smart. You did the right thing.
Exactly. And then, too, like, wasn't it a part where she was, like, trying to make sure that she could take them down legally, and then Nikki left and immediately went to go get Pug to, like, go find out where they were and everything.
Yes.
Like, yeah, sometimes you need to get your hands dirty a little bit.
Yeah.
I love her, how she was listing off all the daddy issues. That was fun.
Yes, and that's also something that we've also done on this show.
Whoever writes She-Hulk be watching this
They
show.
do. They listen to us. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
But then a lot of people
Feel free to make a machine or a robot with some initials that spell out Shani.
Yes.
If you want.
Okay. Send me a She-Hulk costume. That's what I want. I'm gonna be Jennifer Walters.
That'd be cool.
Just on a random Tuesday.
I know. I'm gonna go to the gym in my Jennifer Walters outfit.
Wow, a Disney and Fabletics collaboration with like She-Hulk, like, oh, that'd be so cool.
Or a Black Widow.
Yes,
outfit.
yes,
That'd be dope. Somebody make it happen.
Go ahead so we can spend some money.
You the money spender, not me. I'd be like, that's cute.
And I'll be like, you know what? I'm probably gonna die tomorrow. Buy it. That's
right.
just how I live my life. It's not good. Don't nobody be like me, please. So. Oh, I also wanted to talk about the people. Okay, so I was looking online, and some people were. My thought just flew away from my brain. I don't remember what I was about to say.
Was it about the critiques of the show?
It was about something. Damn, it was. It was about stuff that I was seeing. Shit, never mind. Okay. It'll come back to me. Let's talk about Matt Murdock, because he also showed up at the end of the show, and she also asked for him to show up at the end of the show when she was talking to Kevin, and I was like, yes, girl, you giving the people what we want.
Exactly. And now he meeting a family and stuff. I'm like,
yes, but people they hate how he is so much in the show, but the shit is so funny to me when he just came from the sky off nothing,
out of nowhere.
That was so funny to me, because I'm like, how? Where the fuck did you come from? It's so ridiculous and over the top. And then he shows up and he just at the cookout, and all the aunties is just like, oh, he's so fine. And I was like, yes, y'all fucking get it.
The one uncle like takes the auntie away.
Yes, like, girl, leave him alone. They are so cute. Like, somebody did mention, like, if they see her, like, they want to see more of, like, Jen and Matt. Like, it was just, if it's just like a spinoff romantic comedy that's just about them, I want to watch that.
I would watch it 100%.
Yes, it don't have to do with nothing. Just let them be them.
Yeah, let it be its own, like, solo project.
Yeah.
You don't have to tie into anything. It can be like I Am Groot.
Yes. Yes. Just 6-minute episodes of them just, like, doing things. Yes.
Going to the farmer's market and shit.
Exactly that. Like, I want it. Yeah. So that happened, and that's why I said, like, if she pops up in the Daredevil show, like, I'm going to die. Literally. I don't think I'll survive it. Oh, I remember now. So I remember people were saying in the comments that although they felt like Titania as a whole was just like a waste of space in the show, one lady was like, she loves that a woman was the one who forced Jennifer to accept her Hulk identity and not a man. And I was like, when you put it in that light, I strongly agree.
I guess she was still kind of meh.
She was, but I'm happy that
because I don't think that she could have. I don't think she needed to be in the show for a woman to do that.
Yeah, it could have been somebody else. I'm happy that
it could have been Nikki.
Yeah,
it could have been Mallory.
Yeah,
you know, like. I think it could have been like I think it would have been cool if it was Mallory, because she is a strong, like, even though she doesn't have like superpowers, she's a strong, like, professional woman that, you know, that is also very feminine at the same time.
Yeah.
So she could have.
And then she already told her, like, love yourself, bitch. Dress better.
Exactly. So I don't know. I think Titania's character was just so irritating to me every single time she was on the screen, and like super obnoxious, as a superhero influencer would be.
Yeah,
but
like if Kim Kardashian had powers, same thing.
Yeah, and it was so aggravating to me. But I guess if she had to accept herself through Titania,
That was
then whatever.
Well, I think they just are saying that they're happy that it was a woman to make her force herself, and it just because it was Titania, that's why that was one of her redeeming qualities. But I agree with you. I'm happy that it was a woman, but it could have been somebody else. If it would have been Mallory or Nikki, that would have been dope.
Yeah, that would have honestly made more sense to me.
Yeah, because honestly, Titania was kind of just filler. But I mean, another thing that I was thinking about is that this is like the TV show that Disney has put out, and when you watch TV,
very sitcom.
Yeah, it's a lot of filler shit. It's a lot of plot lines that don't really go anywhere or don't add up to much in sitcoms. So
yeah,
it checks out, I guess. Just not what we used to, but what we used to is people complaining about 6-part movies, like, oh, this doesn't really fit the TV show format, and the finale was this and that. That's what happens when it's not an actual TV show. This is a TV show.
Right.
So.
Agreed.
I honestly kind of wish it was more episodes because I was having a really good time. I'm happy it's not 6. 9 was good.
I think I could have done one more episode.
Yeah, they could have just made it a Netflix 13. That would have been great for me.
I think they could have made it an even 10, and it would have been very satisfying to me because 9 is just weird.
It is.
That's a weird number of episodes.
It is a random number. Yeah. I think that was pretty much it. So Straw Hat Goofy said that this was the worst MCU TV show.
He said it was at the bottom.
Okay, at the bottom.
Or near the bottom.
Where do you rank it?
You mean as far as Infinity Stones go?
Let's do both. Let's do as far as Infinity Stones, and then like our rank amongst the shows. I'm gonna pull up because I feel like we wrote this down. Did we do a whole episode about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dad's template. Okay. As far as Infinity Stones go, I'd give this one 4.5.
Okay.
Out of 6.
Okay.
Because while I did enjoy like the first few episodes, some of them in the middle kind of fell a little flat to me. And then it picked up with the last 2 episodes. Or did last week? Yeah. Last week and this week picked up for me. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of her, more of She-Hulk, and more of Jennifer Walters. So that in itself makes me want to give it that 4.5. It wasn't like great superior TV. It wasn't Loki, you know what I'm saying? But it was enjoyable to me, and I actually wanted to watch it. Some of the episodes I watched multiple times.
Yeah.
So, as far as my ranking goes, like within like all of the Phase 4, are you doing all of the Phase 4, or do you mean?
Let's rank it against the TV shows because I don't think it could compete with like a Doctor Strange or a Spider-Man or nothing like that. For me, I think I would give it a solid 5 Infinity Stones. I enjoyed the show a lot, and like you said, I watched the episodes multiple times. This is the only TV show that I did that with. I didn't watch none of the other stuff more than once.
Well, I've watched everything more than once except for only like Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, all the ones that came out last year.
Like while it was
I've watched
out, or you just talking about rewatching it later?
No, I just rewatched it, but I never rewatched anything while it was still running.
Right. Yeah, same. I like it a lot. I hope she gets a season 2. I think this is one of the only shows that I hoped would get a season 2, and I feel like if we get a season 2, like I like how she is in her show. I'm interested in seeing how she would be in movies interacting with other people. I think I want to see how they handle not Daredevil. I want to see how they handle Deadpool first before I say like, oh, I want to see her in the movie, because tonally she's different. Like, she's great and I enjoy seeing her interact with other people, but I hate to say it, I want to see if they can juggle her tone with everybody else's.
And that's kind of something that I'm like, I'm not worried about it. Like, I know that they're going to do what they're going to do. But, and you know, it's the same thing like I was saying with Daredevil, because he is such a different character and his show is so much darker. It is literally like two opposite ends of the spectrum, basically, you know? So it was kind of, I guess, jarring to see him in a comedy. And I think seeing her in something more serious, or something that's like just kind of middle level, like Captain America Winter Soldier or Civil War, something that's not like whimsical or whatever, like Guardians of the Galaxy, I think it would be interesting to see her in that type of position, in that type of movie. So that is just like, because everything is so different, once they all come together, or once these newer ones come together, more so, that's when I'm gonna be like, all right, how they gonna do this? Yeah, because it's a complete difference between Moon Knight to Miss Marvel to WandaVision to you know, everything is just so completely different.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I would be sad, like, I feel like the actress does a great job, and like you said, I know like they would handle it well, but I feel like if she's not as funny like in the next movie, I'm gonna miss her being funny, because I liked laughing when I was watching this show. That was one of the strong points for me, so I get that. So okay, on my list I feel like I want to change my list a little bit. I need to rewatch some of these shows, because right now I have WandaVision above Miss Marvel. I guess that could stay there. I would probably I feel like I enjoyed this show more than WandaVision. So I might put this at number 3. So I have Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then I think I'll have She-Hulk.
Okay, so mine is similar, but she would be 4th for me. It would be Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, then this, and then WandaVision, and Miss Marvel.
That's fair.
And Moon Knight.
Yeah, see, so for both of us, like, yeah, it's not the best, because I think we both agree we had Loki at number 1, right? Yeah, but I don't think it's close to the bottom at all. Like,
no, definitely not. If anything, Miss Marvel and Moon Knight
and What If
are the ones that are the worst to me, and not because they were bad, but they just weren't.
Yeah,
amazing.
That's my bottom 4. I have Miss Marvel, then I have Moon Knight, then I got Hawkeye and What If. Hawkeye is probably kind of low, but yeah.
Hawkeye, I thought that was such a good show.
I need to rewatch it again.
I thought it was. I think if you watch it again, you'll really enjoy it, because I was having a good ass time watching that show.
Yeah. From what
also, did we talk about Hulk?
No, we sure forgot about that. Yeah, he was on Sakai fucking.
Exactly. Hulk was smashing.
I want to know who he was smashing.
I know. I did watch a video that was saying that it was some bad bitch.
Yeah, some bad bitch on another planet. I saw it. Was she like gray or something? I don't know. And that was part of like the Planet Hulk storyline in the comic books. So people still.
So now people think that we're gonna get
World War Hulk.
World Hulk. World War. I really struggle with those two words together.
Whoa, Hulk. Whoa.
Yeah, like World of Worlds.
Oh, I hate saying the title of that movie. Oh my god. I wonder what they called it on set, because they couldn't have just walked around.
Wow. Watwa.
They probably called this fucking movie. That's what they called it.
Exactly, the movie. The Job.
Right.
That's what they call it. The Benedict Job. Okay. But yes. Do you have anything else to add?
I don't think so. I think that's been the show. And
if you made it to the end of this very loopy episode of South Side of Wakanda, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was our Punisher episodes 9 through 11 rewatch. Well, discussion. Next week, we will be ending Punisher with 12 and 13. I'm kind of sad about it. Yeah. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yes.
All right. Bye.